Terminators. Now, if you guys have watched the channel before, you already know that I have a squad of Terminators, but I wanted to go ahead and get another squad for my Black Templars. I love Terminators. I think they are absolutely amazing. Now, the reason I wanted it is because I wanted to kit bash them and add some Black Templar bits onto them. So that's exactly what I've done. Okay, so these are the current Black Templars that I've done. I have gone ahead, 3D printed some parts for them, done the bases, glued them all together, just to try and save a bit of time, because I've noticed my videos, they're getting a bit long. But yeah, so here's what we currently have. So what have I done with them? So I have gone ahead, I 3D printed a sword, an arm, some pauldrons, some candles, a cape, a dick cloth, whatever it is. And that is on all of these guys, except for these guys. These guys don't have the capes on the back, they just have the front tabard. Only the sergeant or captain gets that. I also really liked the candle idea that we did on the last video on the gladiator lance. So I thought, fuck it, I want to do it on these guys as well. And I think the candles have actually come out all right. I've tried to make it look like the wax has gone to the back because, well, if you look, the candles are at a slight angle. But apart from that, I think they look really good. Gone ahead, taken off the Aquila on some of them and put on these cool little chain and bits and pieces. Not all of them have that. The sergeant and then this little guy here don't have them. But yeah, the sergeant looks really cool. And obviously he's going to have just a normal face, which has been, again, 3D printed as well, and I think has come out beautifully. So, what's the plan of these guys? Literally, just going to paint them. Nothing fancy, nothing too extravagant. So yeah, I think we should get on with painting them. Okay, so first off, I want to start off by saying a massive thank you to everybody who's been commenting, liking, subscribing, all that sort of stuff. I just want to say thank you to all of you. Please keep the comments coming. I am reading all of them and I'd like to try and reply to all of them if I can do so. All of your feedback is amazing as well. I do take it into consideration, and I will be talking about that in a later video. I think probably mid-December is when I'm looking at doing the last video of the year. We're here to talk about Terminators. For my Terminators, currently at the time of editing this, I have 3 Terminator squads. This being the second one I have painted now. If you've watched the channel before, you guys know my Black Templar recipe. But for people who haven't watched the channel before, hello. So for my Black Templars, I like to use Corvus Black through my airbrush. I love Corvus Black. It is a nice sort of grey dark colour instead of the black. After I've done the Corvus Black airbrush, I like to do a dry brush. Now, for the dry brushing is a very simple but really nice technique. I use it on quite a lot of my minis. My world eaters use it heavily. But for my Black Templars, I like to use Mechanicus Standard Grey. Now, get it on the brush, then you take basically the majority of the paint off on a towel or a dry brush palette or tissue. You want to make sure that it's basically not wet, it's dry, hence the name dry brushing. But I find dry brushing, it gives almost an edge highlight sort of, not technique effect, that's what I'm trying to say. It gives more of a edge highlight effect, which I really do like. Now, I can't stand edge highlighting, can't stand it, but dry brushing is a really good way to do it fairly quick. And I just think it looks absolutely amazing on the Black Templars. It tends to make them look a lot less flat. Right, all of the dry brushing is now completed. I've also just gone ahead and done this guy's head. Nothing too fancy, literally just some of this Cajun flesh tone put straight onto him, and then a wash, some gold trim and all that sort of stuff. It looks pretty good, pretty good. But yeah, so all of the job brushing is done, and as you can see, it, in my opinion, it makes them look a lot better instead of them just being plain black. So I've also gone ahead fix the cape as well. So the next stage for these guys, I want to do the candles. For the candles, I'm going to be doing them in corn red. I just think candles on Black Templars look really, really good. So that is the next stage. So with the candles, like I mentioned, corn red for the candles. The candles were actually a 3D printed minute model STL file that I got off of, I think it was Colts 3D. The majority of this stuff was from Colts 3D. The links for those should be in the description below if I remember, which I should do. But yeah, so with the candles, ever since the Gladiator we did recently at the time of editing this, I've wanted to stick candles on all of my miniatures, especially my Black Templars, just because red candles on black armor just look fucking sick. So I've got some ideas for some other minis that we're going to be doing in the near future. With how the candles were stuck on and how the sort of wax drip effect was, that was with green stuff. I'm starting to use green stuff more and more recently. Now that I'm actually getting comfortable with using the green stuff, on how to sculpt it, how to model it, it's something I want to try and implement a lot more into again some more miniatures. But yeah, for the candles, that's basically it really. Just some 3D prints of Colt 3D, some green stuff and some super glue to hold them down, and then a bit of corn red over the top. So this bit being quite quick, this was all of the sort of pendants, the Crux Terminators, the Aquillas. They were all done in Hoplite Gold. If you've seen this channel before, you know I love Hoplite Gold. I would bathe in this stuff if I could. So yeah, I do genuinely highly recommend getting it. It is a speed paint by Army Painter, and if you were able to layer it on just right, you can get some really, really nice shiny surfaces. But yeah, this stuff is absolutely brilliant. Okay, so all of the red bits and the gold is now done on the Terminators. So I like to do the Crux Terminators in gold. I think it looks a lot better in gold, especially compared to just the grey sort of stone look that a lot of them have. So yeah, so all of the sort of loincloths are done as well. This cape here, I'm not sure what colour I want to do it yet. I might just keep it black and stick on a Black Templars decal. I'm not sure yet. But the next thing I want to do is all of the weapons, the power fists, and maybe some other little bits and pieces. But I definitely know the main bit I want to do currently is the weapons. So if you've watched the channel before, you know I like to do my weapons in red, and that is just going to be done in some corn red. So yeah, so after that we'll then move on to the chain fists, power fists, something like that. And I'm thinking about again doing those a red and a black, so that would be this portion here, that portion there, and as for this guy here, that one and that one. Was thinking maybe a white. I might try that, I'm not too sure yet, but apart from that, that is the plan. After that we'll then go on to the little greeblies and bits like that, but we'll get into that in a second. So for the time being, let's get these weapons and power fists done. Right, so weapons are done. I've gone ahead, done his little sword as well. Nothing too special with it, just some iron, no, Grey Steel, I think it's called, this one here. Yeah, there you go. But Grey Steel for the power weapon. It gives a really nice bluish tint. So I think I'm going to be using that colour more and more when it comes to weapons. But apart from that, the majority of them are now done. So it's mainly now just going to be a lot of cleanup, some little bits and pieces. So obviously all of the power fist gauntlets need to be done. That's including these ones here with the chains on it. Some of their little lanyards that are holding some of their little bits and pieces together. They will actually be in Nagaroth Knight. Really nice purple, and I do quite like it. Same thing for this guy's hilt on his sword. And apart from that, then it'll be the purity seals that are on here. Then a few washes, and then we can do the base, and then that will basically be it. Oh wait, no, we need to do the transfers as well. That would be the last thing before I end up doing the weathering. So let's get the power fists and the lanyards done. Cool. So like I just said, for the power fists, the covers were 3D printed as well. I was able to find quite a bit of 3D printed accessories for some Terminators, and you know what? If you don't own a 3D printer, I genuinely think you should. I think that's a video that I'm gonna do actually. Why you should own a 3D printer. So I'll wait until then to talk about it. But so yeah. So again, for the covers for the Power Fist, corn red for the little red squares, and then I think I'm using Blinding Light by Army Painter, part of their speed paint range. I think I'm using Blinding Light for the Black Templars cross. So with the end in sight, I move on to the transfers. Now, I genuinely love transfers. I love how transfers look. Now, I don't like putting them on. I think they're shit to put them on. But once they're on, they do look really, really good. For the Terminators, nothing too special. Just some Black Templar red crosses. I don't know why the Terminators have the red crosses and not the black or white ones. But maybe that's some homework I can give myself. So actually putting the transfers on was a bit of a pain in the ass. So I like to use the edge of my paintbrush to put them on. I find it gives me more control. Some people, they're able just to slide it straight on. I've never been able to do that. But a lot of people as well, they use micro set and micro salt. I don't use that. I use some Revel decal softener. I find for me it works a lot nicer. Also, don't forget to put a lacquer coat on the miniature first before putting them on. Now, I normally put on a satin varnish. I find it helps the decals sort of move about and adhere better. And then after all of that, finally it was the wash. Now this is my own wash. This is some Avarax Earthshade, some Nun Oil, and some Contrast Medium. And I put that all over the miniature. So with that, they are now finished. I'm not gonna lie, not really had the motivation to finish these guys off in the past few days. I've been putting these off for what, 2-3 days now. Also, I should say, I started them 2-3 days ago and just sort of not really wanted to do them. But with that being said, I am very happy with how they've come out. Really, really happy. Especially this guy here, the captain or sergeant or whatever he is. I think his swords come out really nicely. The pointing arm, the cape on the back, the loincloth is all come out really, really nicely, and I'm very happy with him. The little blood effect as well from the sword looks really, really good. I kind of want to do some more blood effects and stuff like that on miniatures, and I think this is how I'm going to start off with him. The guy with the Gatling gun, I'm really happy as well. Tried to do a little burnt effect on the end. Not really sure how well it's come out, but yeah, he looks really, really good. Especially these little bits here as well. I'm so happy with them. So yeah, but with my Terminator squad, I now own 2, well technically 3. I've got a Terminator squad here, which I've just started. They're primed, ready to go. Now they'll be done when and where I want to. They were from from one of the Combat Patrol magazines that I was able to pick up. But yeah, I'm really happy with how they come out. But yeah, so with that being said, thank you guys for watching. If you have any more ideas of what I should do, please do leave them in the comments below. Thank you for all your support, subscriptions, comments, all that sort of stuff, likes. Don't forget to do that. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, whatnot, whatever it is you want to do. Apart from that, thank you guys for watching. Goodbye.